This is a tutorial about drawing graphs and doing means or averages. So this is a bit strange for normal way you draw a graph. Sorry, have a table of data. In terms, it's got the average column on the left. Now to work out the average, we choose where we were trying to put the average, put the equals symbol. We open some brackets, which is on my keyboard is holding Shift and pushing the 9 button. And then I choose what I want to add together. So I would want to add that one. I click on it, choose a space, so plus, click on the next one, another plus, and choose a final cell, which I would like to add together. I close the brackets, and then I divide by 3. That tells me the average is 10, which is what I expect. Now, another way of doing it is doing insert, function, and it lists some functions which are commonly used. Now, I'm trying to work out the average, so I could choose average, and I could choose OK, and I can click and drag the 3 values I want to work out the average of. And then again, with the end of a formula, close the bracket like so. The other way I could do it is insert function, average. And I can choose the different things I want to average. I could choose one cell, click a comma, choose another cell, click a comma, choose a final cell, and then I need to close the brackets like so. So those are 3 ways of working out the average. Now, to insert a graph, what we do is we choose the 2 columns we want to plot as a graph. And what we do is insert, and there is a collection of graphs there. Now there's a column graph. And as for graph type we will be wanting to use is this one here called a stacked column one. Now, the reason is because we don't want to have our columns touching because the data isn't really connected. It's called something called discrete data. So we click on that, and there we go. We have a little graph drawn. Now, this graph isn't quite perfect, so I'm just going to move it back down because I don't know a lot about what's actually shown. Now, on normal Excel, you can often double click on things to change it, but title, we want a title. So what we could always do is find where the title is here. So material or parachute versus descent time, choose for graph. And then there's a chart option, which means here this is to do with plotting a chart, and we can choose chart title, edit the chart title, and we can have the title shown here. Now axes, there's this one and this one. Now you can see here on the little image, it shows which one we're trying to do. The horizontal one is the one underlying the text. So again, the horizontal one, and this would be, say, material, like so. And then we still need to think about what this axis is. It's axis title, vertical. Time taken to reach ground in seconds. We could always select this text and copy it. Notice it's also got units of seconds. So normally when we plot graphs, we won't have units. Now I've lost the chart bit, so you can see I need to click on chart again, and I need to do axis. This is the vertical one. You can see a little blue bit here, so it's suggesting that one. Edit vertical axis, put the text in there. So the graph's looking fairly good, I think. Now, the legend, we didn't need the legend. The legend was trying to explain what the sort of data plotted is. Now, if we want to make our graph bigger, we can click and make it bigger or smaller. Now, one of the things about this graph is we've done everything right, but one of the problems is computers do exactly what you tell them to do. Now, if we look at this value, for plastic, we've got a time of 3 seconds to reach ground, 4 seconds to reach ground, or 20 seconds. Now, 20 doesn't seem to fit, so we don't want to include the 20 an hour average. So what we would probably want to do is we can choose what we're trying to work out the average of, and we don't want the first one, so we can actually delete it from what's being calculated as an average, and that gives us a better looking graph. And now this might sound strange by thinking about what we've done, suggesting that plastic might take the shortest time, but again, if you use a really solid piece of plastic, say something like I don't know, calculator case, this might make more sense. So that's a graph shown for material of parachute versus descent time. I hope that one's clear, and hopefully you can manage to recreate that one.